What is up, guys? In this video I'm going to be talking about a topic that I hear a lot, and that is how long will it take me to start profiting on Amazon? And don't worry, I'm going to answer all of that in this video, and by the end of this video you guys will know exactly how long it will take you to start profiting on Amazon depending on your personality. Also, before we get into the video, I wanted to give you guys my email right here. It's askrileyturner@gmail.com. Now you guys can email me there if you have any questions or you just want to say hello. I love getting all emails, I don't care what it is. And that is also where you can email me to get into my private course and get my private mentorship. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a private course taught by myself that takes you through everything from start to finish. And basically it covers everything I'm about to talk about in this video and includes a lot of extra things to help you guys out, like templates, business connections with shipping and different companies that will save you a lot of money, as well as making your life a lot easier. And then you also get me as a personal mentor for life, unlimited, and I will help you guys personally and check your products for you and make sure you're doing everything correctly and give my approval on everything. So it's basically a guide to help you get to success as soon and as fast and as easy as possible. So email me there if you guys want to get into that as well. So now let's get into it. All right, so as I said, I am on the Excel sheet that I made to help you guys really see the numbers and understand where these numbers are coming from. And I broke it down in different phases because FBA is really in phases. It's not just like one thing, you do it and you win and you make a ton of money. No, you have to do different phases of it to get to the end goal, which is success, obviously. So the orange will be the different phases, and then the green will be the time periods that most people usually take. And as I said, maybe I didn't say, but I will be telling you based off of your personality where you fall on these time frames, because not everyone is the same. Some people are extremely hard workers and some people like to do it part-time on the side, and that is totally okay. So I will be explaining to you where you fall on these time frames. Now, keep in mind that all of these time frames and all this information I'm about to tell you is already assuming that you are learning from someone, or you have a teacher or a course or a mentor, anything like that. If you don't have any of these things and you're trying to totally do this on your own by reading articles and watching YouTube videos, then this will most likely not apply to you. This is only for people who have the right guidance and people who have something directly teaching them how to do it and someone guiding them through the process. Because when you don't have those things, it's going to take a lot longer. Obviously, you're going to have to do all the research on your own from scratch, and it's going to be a lot harder to find everything, especially learning from all these different sources. Everyone's going to tell you something different. So what I found, a lot of people on YouTube will be saying one thing, saying another thing, saying another thing. And I'm sitting here looking at this information, wondering where they get this information, because a lot of it I found just does not apply or does not exist, or is very outdated. So be careful if you are doing it on your own, where you're getting your information, and it will take you a lot longer. Just understand that. So these numbers are based off of if you have a teacher, a mentor, a course, something like that. Obviously, it being a good course or a good teacher, that's very important. So phase one is going to be the product research phase, and I have that right here in the orange. And product research is going to be exactly what it sounds like. It's basically going to be the phase where you find that one product that you want to sell. And this does not mean that it is as simple as it sounds. It sounds pretty easy. Oh, you just find that product you want to sell, but that is where you will make a huge mistake if you do not have a teacher, a mentor, or a course. You will find out that there are a lot of different search criteria that you need to follow. There are specific strategies that you need to follow when you're doing your product research, and there are a lot of bad products that you shouldn't sell and a lot of products that you should be aware of and be skeptical of, and then also different strategies to see if a product is good. So there are a ton of things that you need to know on this. And personally, when I teach my product research to my students, they have a ton of videos. It is like probably over around 10 or more videos that are all around 10-20 minutes long, specifically about product research. So that's like a few hours of teaching about product research, and it is definitely something that is not as easy as it sounds, because you need to know what you're doing. Obviously, you can't just pick any product and post it. So if you are picking any product and posting it, first off, you will most likely fail. And second off, it's going to take you a lot longer because you're going to keep failing and failing and failing. So if you guys have the right strategies, the right criteria, and all that information is correct, and you have someone guiding you and checking your products for you, personally, I do that as well. I have my students give me their product ideas. I check them for them. I run the numbers. I give them my own personal opinion and let them know whether I would go with the product or not, or what the cons and the pros are of the product. So with all that in mind, it usually will take you 3 days to 1 month. And product research doesn't really matter if you're a hard worker or a lazy person. As long as you're doing it correctly, it's totally random. You could find a product in literally 10 minutes. I found products in 10 minutes all the time, and you can also find one usually in 3 days to 1 month. I've had people look for 1 month, but usually they find a product in 1 month because they're way too specific in what they're trying to find. And usually that's where you get paralysis through analysis. Basically, you keep freaking yourself out that a product's not going to be good. Oh, I need to find another one. I need to find a better one, a better one, a better one. And then you never actually pick one. So that could also be a bad thing. And that's why it's also nice to have a mentor to tell you, yes, that is a good product. Go with it. Don't overthink it. So usually, like I said, it will take 3 days to 1 month, not really depending on if you're lazy or a hard worker, like I said. But obviously, if you are putting in some time and work, it will be found in 3 days to 1 month. You will find that good product. So now for phase 2, that's going to be contacting suppliers and actually finding a supplier to work with. This also is not as easy as it sounds. You need to make sure you know what to look for in a good supplier. You need to make sure you do not go with a bad supplier that will, possibly screw you over, because that is not safe and you don't want to lose any money. So there are different things that I have found in my experience selling on Amazon that you need to look for in good suppliers, different things that you need to ask and different questions. And then also when you send your inquiries to them, asking about a certain number of products you want to buy or anything like that, there is a template that I give to all of my students that has all these questions already on it for you. That way they can just copy and paste it basically to their supplier that they're trying to work with. And that template has all the information you need to ask. And there are probably around 10 to 15 questions you need to ask your supplier, and a lot of people don't know that as well. They think you just message your supplier and say, hey, can I get 500 units? It doesn't work like that. You actually have to ask 10 to 15 different questions that are specific, and you actually need to know these questions in order to actually work with them correctly. Now, assuming that you already have all that information, it usually takes about 5 days to 3 weeks. And once again, this is actually kind of affected based off work ethic and if you're lazy or not. So if you're a lazy person, or even if you work a job and you can only do this part-time, which I totally understand, a lot of people do that. I did that in the beginning when I started. So that can take you 5 days if you're working every single day at it, up to 3 weeks if you're extremely slow with it and email every few days to your supplier, or maybe even if your supplier is extremely slow at responding to emails. That can also be something that takes a little bit longer, but usually it's 5 days to 3 weeks. Usually somewhere, I'd say around a week or a week and a half is a solid time frame that a lot of people fall in. So if you're going to be working every single day, 5 days, you should be able to find a good supplier, especially if you have a company that helps you with your sourcing or helps you find a good supplier. They can also do supplier audits to make sure it's a safe supplier. So if you do have a company like that, it can also cut back a lot of time. That way you're not even doing this on your own. You're basically paying someone a small price to do it all for you. And personally, I have my own business connection that I've made over the past few years, and I give that connection to all of my personal students as well. So they have that company to work with to help find their products and find a good supplier easily and cheap. So that's always nice, and that will cut back your time a lot. So 5 days to 3 weeks is definitely what it will be taking you to find a good supplier. 3 weeks is really pushing it. So somewhere in the middle is that sweet spot that you guys should be shooting for. So now phase 3 is assuming that you already found that good product, you already found that good supplier to work with, and now we need to move forward to the next step. So that takes us to phase 3. And phase 3 is going to be creating your shipping plan, creating your seller account, and creating your product listing. So first, obviously, you create your seller account. You can do that in 2 hours, so that doesn't really matter. And next, you're going to want to create your product listing. And this is really simple too, especially if you know what you're doing and you know what information to put in it, because it's important that you optimize your product listing to make sure it catches the attention of a buyer and it will actually convert people into buyers. So if you have a really bad product listing and you don't know how to make a product listing, then obviously you won't even succeed in the first place, so none of this really matters. But if you know how to do it correctly and optimized, and that would be pretty quick. That can be, anywhere from 5 hours to a day, depending on how much work you want to put into it, how perfect you want to make it. Now, after the product listing, now we need to make our shipping plan. And the shipping plan is extremely simple. This can take less than an hour if you do it quick. And this is basically you telling Amazon that you are sending in a shipment, and then they give you all the labels. So that way you can send the labels to your supplier, and your supplier will put them on all the packages for you to send to Amazon. So in general, all three of these things are extremely quick and easy as long as you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then it's going to be extremely confusing, but it's a very simple process if someone is walking you step by step through the process. So this is anywhere from 1 to 3 days if you have that guidance or that prior knowledge. So 1 to 3 days, 3 days meaning you're taking your sweet time, and 1 day meaning you just pretty much work the whole day and try to figure it out in the whole day. So that is extremely doable in 1 to 3 days, and most people will do it in probably 2 days or 1 day. So now phase 4 is going to be one of the most important things. All of the phases are extremely important, but phase 4 is going to be the make or break for your product. So that is going to be product launching. Now there are a lot of different things that you need to know about product launching. You need to know PPC campaigns, which is Amazon's way of advertising on Amazon. You also need to know how to do product giveaways. You also need to know how to get reviews. You could do paid reviews. There's a lot of rules for that though, so make sure you know the rules or else you will get in trouble. You can also use other companies to help you get reviews, which is totally fine with Amazon. You also can do influencer advertising, you can do Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, any of that stuff. And when you put it all together, then you really will have a high chance of success, especially if you know how to do all those things correctly. It will be a real breeze, and you can get on that first page selling really well, really quickly if you implement all the right things and you know what you're doing. So that can take 1 week to 1 month, depending on if you know how to actually implement everything correctly and you do it extremely fast and quick and aggressive. It can take 1 week. I've had products launch quicker than 1 week, but on average 1 week to 1 month. 1 month being you are extremely slow or you're working part-time, but it is still definitely doable in 1 month. Just please promise me that you guys will actually know what you're doing when it comes to product launching, because a lot of people mess up with that. And I see so many people emailing me and so many people asking questions on the YouTube channel and saying, hey, how do I launch my product? Or hey, what does a product launch even mean? And I'm like, oh my goodness, you are not going to win. You're not going to be successful if you have no idea how to product launch. So that is extremely important, and please know how to do it. If you're going to get into FBA, you need to know how to do it. So now the last part is going to be shipping time. Now shipping time isn't really a part that you need to work on because clearly it's just being shipped. You don't need to work on that. It just happens. So this is something that may or may not factor in because you can work extremely smart. And what I mean by that is you can work on your optimized listing. You can also work on your product launching while your product is being shipped. So really this time could be completely erased if you work really efficiently. But like I said, if you want to work smart about it, then this could be something that you don't even need to factor in, because during the shipping process, you could be working on other phases. So that way it's kind of erasing this whole period of time in general. So with air shipping, you will have about 5 days to 2 weeks time for it to arrive in the Amazon FBA warehouse. And then with sea shipping, it's about 2 weeks to 1 month, maybe a little bit more than 1 month, depending on what shipping company you go with or how much product you have or whatever else is happening in the world. Maybe weather can play a part in that. But for the most part, 2 weeks to 1 month for sea shipping, and then for air shipping, usually 5 days to 2 weeks, depending on a few different factors. So a lot of people ask me if they should go with air shipping or sea shipping, and I have a lot of videos on that on this channel. So I'll leave a few cards up top for you guys to help you guys with that process. Along with, I'm sure earlier in the video, I had a lot of cards up top as well to help you guys. So now that we have all this information, we have phases 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all the different times it might take, along with the shipping wait time. We want to put all this together now, and I want to give you guys a period of time that it will take you if you grind really hard and you work fast and smart, and then a period of time it will take if you work extremely slow, part-time, and if you're lazy. So first, we're going to start with the fastest time to profit with air shipping. So this is assuming that you did wait that period of time for your shipping and you didn't put in any work during that shipping time, and you went with air shipping. So that's a little bit quicker than sea shipping. So you can crank all of this out and start profiting in 21 days. If you really work hard and you really know what you're doing, then you can get this done in 21 days. But maybe you didn't go with air shipping and maybe you went with sea shipping. So Fastest time to profit with C shipping would be a little bit higher at 30 days, assuming that you got a really fast shipping company for sea and air and you worked extremely hard through all these different phases. Then you can do it in 21 days or 30 days, depending on if you go with air or sea shipping. So now, let's say that you guys don't want to work every single day on this, or let's say that you guys already have a job and you need to work at this part-time, then that's totally okay. So if you want to work at the slowest time, that basically means all these slowest times. So for phase 1, 1 month, for phase 2, 3 weeks, for phase 3, 3 days, for phase 4, 1 month, and then the shipping times will also be the longest. When you put that all together, the slowest time to profit with air shipping would be 3.3 months, which is still very quick when it comes to creating a business. Usually businesses end up making you money years later, years down the road, and you can be in debt for years and years with most traditional businesses. So this is a really different type of business, and that's why I was so attracted to this when I first started, because it is so quick to actually start making money, and it has so little risk because you barely have to put in any money. So let's say you want to start a traditional business. Sometimes you have to put in $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 to start these businesses like stores or companies, any different traditional service business, anything like that. They usually take a lot of money. Even making like an app on your for smartphones, that could take like $1 million to develop the app. So something like this, it could take you like $1,000 to actually start making money and create a business that can create you $1 million in the long run. And the cool thing about it is, like we see here, in 1 month, if you work extremely hard, you could totally start profiting in 1 month. And then if you work extremely slow, assuming that you're lazy or working part-time, which is totally understandable, like myself, that's how I started. I did it my first time in 2 months. So I wasn't so far on the scale to where I was about 3.3 months. My first time when I had a job and I was still in school, I did it in about 2 months. So like I said, most businesses start making you money and profiting years down the road, and the average millionaire is made in 20 years. So that was not attractive to me. That was not appealing to me, and I did not want to follow that road. And I'm assuming a lot of you guys don't want to do that either, so I totally understand. And that is why probably this is why you're watching this video, because it's attractive to you that you can start making money and profiting and create a real business in literally 1 month to 3 months or 4 months. And that's totally insane to actually think that so many people are becoming millionaires from this and so quickly. So the slowest time, like I said, I went on a little bit of a rant, but the slowest time to profit with air shipping is about 3.3 months. And then the slowest time to profit with sea shipping is going to be about 3.7 months. So in under 4 months, if you work part-time on a business and barely spend any money compared to a real business that is a traditional business, you can be making a ton of money, 6 figures or more. So it's just crazy that with the internet and all the things that we have accessibility to, especially someone so young like me, that we can run a business like this and start making a lot of money in under 4 months. It is just crazy, and it makes me think a lot. I always wonder, why aren't more people doing this? Why is this not like, I don't understand. I see people working 2 jobs, minimum wage jobs, and it's like, it's just a matter of not knowing. They just don't know. They don't know about this. They just feel like they can't do it. They just feel like it's not possible for someone like them to get in this spot. But that is totally what I thought as well. But now I look where I am, and I wish I can go back in time and thank myself and tell myself to not worry, to push through it, and then it will be worth it 1,000,000 times. So that's always something I always have in my head. Like, I want to tell as many people as I can about this, because I understand what you guys are saying. I understand what you guys are thinking. I understand what's in your head, and I had the same things in my head a few years ago. So I just wanted to break down all these numbers for you guys. I hope this really makes you understand how fast you can do it if you want to work extremely hard, or if you want to work part-time, how much longer it can take if you want to work part-time, because a lot of people ask me this. So I hope it really helped. So that is going to be it for this video. Remember, as always, to go down below, click on the like button if you enjoyed the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And last but not least, go down below, leave me a comment, let me know if you subscribed, and also let me know if you have any questions, because I respond to every single comment. So that's it for this one, guys. I will see you guys in the next video, and peace out.